Yo, I woke up early this morning, like really early, so I probably sound sleepy. But I woke up early and I was watching a video um by I think he's a minister, but he has some really good helpful talking points for men and women. Kevin Samuels, you need to take notes. Okay, this is how you do it. This is how you uplift women and men. But anywho, I came across a video of his today, and it was talking about insecurities and insecurities in women, and how those insecurities can be exploited by the wrong type of men or just lovers. If you guys are, you know, um, lesbian women as well, this could resonate with you. But he was specifically talking about men and some of the tactics to exploit insecure women, because when you're insecure, it's very easy to spot an insecure person, let alone an insecure woman. It's very easy to do that and then pick out, just listen enough to a woman or watch her enough, what she says, what she's, your conversations, um, maybe just making off of assumption or watching her dating habits, her patterns, or the things that she posts online, the type of people that she surrounds herself with, the relationship that she has with her parents. Like, it's very easy to spot like a woman that you can, take advantage of. And so basically, when he was, talking about these things and why it's important to have self-love, why it's important to find your identity in God, why it's important to have a confidence about you, is because when you know who you are in God, you're not looking for man, woman, or anything in this earth to validate who you are. Therefore, you're not receptible to those exploitations. You're not receptible to those demonic agendas and attacks on your life. Nor are you intimidated by other people. You're not self-sabotaging yourself from your own goodness, things like that. So as he was speaking, I just got a whole revelation, message, everything. And I heard Spirit say, because sometimes Spirit will give me a title to my videos before I even complete them, whether I'm talking, like sharing a message that I received, or whether I'm like reading. So the message that I got was, there was a counterfeit that saw you as insecure or naive or both, in order to exploit your desire for divine love or divine partnership. Now, Spirit revealed to me that these people have certain disorders, mental disorders. One of them being narcissists, psychopaths, psychotic, sociopaths, and maybe even have bipolar disorder or schizophrenia. These things came to me. So you'd have to understand those things within itself, why this would be valid, why certain behaviors would occur. Okay. So for some of you that this resonates for, you had someone or you had multiple people. For me, I could say that I've met maybe multiple people that have tried this in my singlehood, being on this spiritual, journey, like being aware, I should say, because we've always been on a spiritual journey, but from birth, but being consciously aware of it and like walking and doing like the work and all of that, it attracts these types of men, these counterfeits. And I've had it happen, whether it was people trying to pursue me or men that I've actually like thought was, oh, this could be that, this could be this. You have to be very careful with this. So what I was getting is that these people, these men, I'm getting men, and I'm not speaking for every man. Like if it applies to you, then, of course you're going to be offended. But if it's not you shouldn't be offended. But anyway, these men exploited someone here, whoever this message for, exploited your desire for love through studying those desires that you had for love. Specifically, Spirit was saying if you were someone that was seeking like a fairy tale romance, like you talked about twin flames or soulmates or this, this etheric type of relationship. Oh, I believe in telepathy, and it's not to say, because there is a thing of divine counterparts. There's also a level of needing to have groundedness when it comes to these things, because we can get carried away. Like I said, with dating and stuff like that, during my journey, my spiritual journey of being single, or maybe even just having the grace to talk to people, even through that time, whether it lasted long or it didn't, it's when you're still dealing with yourself, it's easy to latch on to people that may be just seasonal people and not meant to stay in your life, and try to paint them to be that which they are not supposed to be in your life. And you get kind of emotionally attached, and you get caught up in a fairy tale or a fantasy. You start making things bigger than what they are. You start over analyzing every interaction and every feeling or emotion that you have. That's why it's very important to be discerning and to be sober minded and to have self love, because it's easy to fall into these traps. So if you were someone that maybe talked about it with a person, or you posted these things on social media or something, it's like it's very apparent somehow that these are things that you're into. I feel like this person kind of exploited that. So they might have used like spiritual keywords, like called you, or they talked about soulmates or twin flames with you, or oh, I believe in love at first sight, things to kind of rile you up, or call you queen, or call you divine feminine, or you're this. They might have used certain titles and labels to stimulate your desire, right? To stimulate it, to trigger those words in you, to make you go, oh, like, or they attempted. Now, for some of you, this didn't work. I've had this happen to me a couple of times where men have tried to love bomb me. And it's a red flag when men out of nowhere just come and tell you, oh, I feel like you're my soulmate. I feel like you're my twin flame and stuff. That stuff is alarming. It's weird. Like, you don't know me. And it's not to, because it has to be a mutual thing. And that's how you know that it's not coming from a pure place, because divine spirit is going to make both parties aware that they are in a union. Just as, and I'm just quoting the Bible because it is a reference and it's a key thing, where it's a key scripture where Adam says, this is woman, she is bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. He recognizes her coming from him, and vice versa. It's not one-sided. So when someone's coming to you saying that, that's most likely not of God, because both of you should know, you should both feel it, you should both be in agreement with that. It's not something that you have to forfeit, or like force or manipulate, or try to convince yourself or convince another person. It's not from God. So they might do this. And like I said, this happened to me a couple of times, or a few times, like actually multiple times. I've had men and women like try to say that we're twin flames. And it was just like, where are you getting this shit from? Like, I don't know you, or we're just friends. Like, there's nothing that says that. There's nothing that I'm giving you that says that. And therefore, again, you have to use your discernment to know the difference. So it might be easy, maybe, because I did get that some of you guys shut it down before it went any further. So I'm just here to expose what that was. And for some of you, you guys fell into it. And there was cases where I did fall into it with men that I did have a crush on or something, or I had a attraction to, and they exploited my interest in them. So there's two sides to this. So if you're an empath, they'll definitely exploit your good nature, because naturally, empaths, at least the ones that might have to work more on their discernment and their self-love, they are prone to believe that everybody is good, or it's safe to trust everyone. Oh, everybody's just broken and wounded like me. Everybody deserves a fair chance, when in fact, like, you can discard yourself from that discernment, and that's not, it's not helpful. That's not healthy. You have to be careful with that. So this person, I feel like, has exploited your good nature. They saw you either as a conquest as well. So let's say maybe you're an attractive woman, or let's say you have something material wise, a house. I hear this all the time of women, being used for places to stay, for homosexuals, to sleep up on a woman, or to use her car, or because they know she has a nice job or something, or these are predators. In essence, these are predators. Or you're beautiful or something. They just want to use you as like a sexual conquest, or to say that they had you, or to say that, oh, this girl was after me, oh, she was chasing me, like different things like that. They also use your singleness because they might see it as loneliness, or maybe you were lonely, so they kind of see it as a door in to get to you. Okay, so they may have sensed insecurity off of you, or they may have mistaken you to be insecure in some instance. Soft spoken came up, and this is something that I feel like a lot of people may or may not resonate with, because I feel like as humans, if you talk soft, especially maybe as a man as well, you talk soft, people will categorize you as being docile, right? So if you're not talking with a deep voice, or you're not talking with this like bass, even as a woman, people might take you as more threatening, right? So if you're soft spoken, these people might take it as, oh, they're sweet, right? I could take advantage. Soft spoken came up. So I just had to mention that. They may have approached and pursued you very quickly and profusely. Profusely. That's what I was getting. Like, they will pursue you, like actively pursue you, very quickly. They don't take any time. And it's not to say that anybody that pursues you early on is a predator, but if they're coming on like way, way too strong to the point where you got to be like, wait a minute, like what the fuck? Excuse my language. It's a lot of love bombing. It's the initiation of love bombing you. So you'll have those types of people that will be like, oh, I love you after 2 days of knowing you, or, oh, I'm in love with you. I had a friend, an old friend that was like always dating, like calling, not just dating, but she was calling dudes her boyfriend. Like every month she had a new boyfriend, and oh, this is my babe. And they were exchanging I love yous, and they didn't know nothing about each other, right? So it was a lot of that. And you can imagine that those relationships, they didn't last, of course. That's why she was like hopping from boyfriend to boyfriend. And it's like being in love with the idea of love. And then there's those that are predators. So this person, I feel like, is a predator, where, they may have told you that they love you early on, or that they are in love with you before even getting to know you really. Like, and that's the thing, because we can have love in our hearts for just humanity, have unconditional love for people. It's a difference. I feel like when it comes to falling in love with somebody, like you can love someone, like I said, unconditionally, you know, but when it comes to like falling in love, romantic love, I feel like that's something that, from my opinion, that you have to grow into. Like you have to, the attraction is there, the interest is there, the care is there, but the love, that's a deep statement. And I feel like that's something that you build upon intimacy. It doesn't just, those, I feel like those things, it's a lot of lust, it's a lot of passion, it's seeking validation, or seeking that fulfillment outside of yourself, that some people might gravitate towards this. Remember, these people, they're not mentally stable either. So they'll, or some of you, if they didn't tell you that they love you early, they could have talked about marriage early, or future plans with you, or making all these plans. Oh, we can do this together, and oh, I'm starting a business and we can work, like just little simple things like that. Like they're too quick, they're too eager, soon, early, before even getting to know you. Like you don't know if I'm even a suitable partner. You don't even know if I'm a suitable business partner for you. You know what I mean? Like you don't know nothing about me, or you don't know enough about me to do that. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay to make future plans and say you're dating, and oh, we should get together, we should do this would be really cool to do that. But I feel like they don't follow up with it. That's how you know that's a red flag. They don't follow up with those plans. So they were using this false Prince Charming act on you. I feel like they underestimated you and your self-love, because their trickery either didn't work on you, or you woke up before it got too deep. So for some of you, it just didn't go anywhere. And I'm here to tell you that this person, they're demonic agents. This person was sent to distract you and take advantage of you. plain and simple. These people, they're sick, and sick with like demons, literally. So these people, they may have, or you've experienced this. They'll see, the thing about these types of people is, and I've experienced this. I had an incident with someone that I did business with. It was a guy. It was a man. He was way older than me. I'm assuming he found me on YouTube, and then he found my Facebook. He hit me up and he was like asking me how much would it cost to be his personal reader for a full year. And I'm like, I can't commit to that. I can't guarantee that. So he was like, well, this is how he got me, because I didn't have a website at the time. This was me first starting off my channel. And he was like, I'm being led. It says, I'm paraphrasing, but basically he was saying like he's being led or he's being called, something like that. He was using those phrases, those spiritual phrases. I'm being led to help you with your website. I do websites, right? It's like, oh, cool, this is a blessing. But there was a catch. He was like, in exchange, whenever you're up to it, you can give me a reading, and then, you can pay this fee, which the fee came later on. So I'm like, okay, in my ignorance, I agreed to it. And later down the line, it started to get awkward because he would ask me to read for him, and then he would ask questions like, oh, do you think it's meant for us to have sex? Can you read that? Like, really? Like, excuse me? And then he would invite me to visit him and all that stuff, which never happened. And then to make me comfortable, he's like, well, you can bring your mom and I'll pay for everything, right? And I was just like, nah. And mind you, this man was married, and he tried to throw in that, oh, we have an open relationship. My wife is open to me having another wife. And I'm thinking, like, I don't know why you telling me this, because that's not my fate. That's not my story. So, and I'm not attracted to you like that. Like, you know what I mean? So when I wasn't bending to him, long story short, he cut my website off without even telling me. Like, he just shut it down. And I didn't find out until I had like clients telling me that they can't access my website. And so, needless to say, he was just helping me in that way. He was using me, or he attempted to, and when it didn't work, he came at me the wrong way. So it's just like, people will show you their true face. I'm telling you, like, these masks, they will eventually fall off. Like, they can't keep up the facade, not for too long. It doesn't last that long. It doesn't even last past a year. I'm telling you, it will never over exceed a year. Like, it will happen either immediately, within like weeks, days, maybe even hours. Like, you can see it. So they'll punish you, or they'll so-called punish you. They think that they're punishing you. They'll abuse you in many ways simply because you chose self-love, or you didn't fall for their demonic traps. So, or you're no longer feeding them anymore. Okay? They may have resulted to slandering your name, guilt tripping you, gaslighting you, projecting their sick ways onto you. And mind you, if they deal with psychosis or mental illnesses, they will find a way to blame you for their sickness. Like, oh, it's your fault that I'm attracted to you. Oh, it's your fault that this happened. Oh, you're this. You're a slut. You're this. They'll use those phrases. They'll talk like, some of them will do this. Like, some of them, they'll just like, some of them, they may not say anything about you to anybody. They'll just keep it pushing, keep it moving because it didn't work. But the ones I feel like that have those extreme mental illnesses, like the psychosis and stuff, the bipolar disorders and stuff, they will, they'll verbally attack you. They're violent in nature too, some of them, or most of them. So they'll say certain things, kind of like a man. You know how you walk in the street and a man will try to holler at you. I don't even want to call them men. Savage people, savage men. They'll call you out, be like, hey, ma, or what's up? Oh, what's up, beautiful? And when you mind your business, you might just be like, oh, hi, and then keep it pushing. Or they'd be like, come here. And you'd be like, no, I'm good. And you keep it moving. And they'll be like, well, fuck you anyway, bitch. Stuff like that. That's another sickness. You wouldn't want to talk to those men anyway. He was just playing. He was projecting. He wasn't being authentic. he was speaking in a way that was getting your attention, but when you rejected him, then he showed his true colors. That's what they do. So this person could have resulted in slandering you, guilt tripping you, gaslighting you, finding ways to blame you for their illnesses, projecting their behaviors onto you as a means to cause you to doubt and blame yourself for their behavior. So what that type of abuse does to a person is it causes you to think, oh, it must be my fault. What did I do to invite this? And there's no logical explanation for abuse. You cannot put yourself in a place to say, I deserve abuse. You can't do that. So you got to remember that these people, they lack accountability. They don't have common sense. They don't have normal common sense. They don't, nor do they have true empathy. They lack it. They can't even conjure it. So they have to perform. So these aren't healthy people that we're talking about. They're demonic in nature. So you can't try to make sense of that type of behavior, let alone accuse yourself nor blame yourself. So stand your ground and continue to love yourself or work on self-love if you feel that, your self-love or the lack of it at some point allowed these type of partnerships or these types of things to come into your life. And like I said, like certain relationships, I get like how you can feel like, oh, it's your fault because you got in a relationship with someone. Maybe you married this person. I don't feel like it went that far for you guys, but maybe it went as far as sex with this person and you really regret that you even did that. I can get how that can be blaming, but still at the same time, you got to be able to identify the type of person you're dealing with and where you were at the time and heal that part. That's all you can do is make peace with that part of self and identify the wounding, if that makes sense. So, use your discernment and work on your discernment. Protect your heart and energy for the right people. Protect and save, you know, guard your heart from wickedness. I have to say this, like, especially for those of you that are single or you desire a healthy, loving relationship, you desire that divine connect that the Most High has for you, you got to pray over your heart constantly because the heart can be very, very deceiving because emotions can be deceiving. If you don't have a sober mind along with a healthy heart, it's very easy to be deceived. So you have to pray, and not just romantic relations, but like people in general. Like you have to really guard your heart from certain people and things because not everybody has a heart. Not everybody has a heart like you. So you got to, and it's not to say that you shouldn't be open to people. You just have to be more discerning. And heal from any abuse or trauma, whether that starts with self-blame or self-shaming yourself. You have to really heal from that. Yeah, you have to really heal from that and work on that part of self because you don't deserve abuse. No matter what transpired, you didn't deserve it. No one deserves to be abused. So forgive yourself and work on freeing yourself from shame because this person will or has already likely used condemning on you, that spirit of condemning on you to oppress you. So if you had sex with this person as well, I would seek divine help with cleansing and cutting any ties connected to this person. For those of you who dated or formed some type of emotional connection with this person, release them from your heart with love. And then just for those, like, to avoid future predators and stuff like that, just use your discernment with interacting with those types of people. Like, avoid trying to be nice because sometimes, like, that's also a trap as well. Really, the agenda in all of this that I was getting is that this was to take you out of your purpose and therefore to discourage you. Somehow, like, you guys could have been focused on a path. You guys could have been healing. You guys could have been focused on your purpose or some type of career or something. And this person came in at a time to discourage you or distract you. I can count many times where I'll use this as an example. If anybody cares to hear, just as a testimony and as an example, I remember every time that I was being exploited or potentially to be exploited, or whether it was people trying to pursue me, or whether it was people that I was interested in that, they might have been interested to an extent. And I feel like some of them, there was agendas, and for some it was just they were sent, and they were just sent to be distractions. Doesn't mean that they themselves. I'm not really speaking too much about those that are oblivious to their behaviors. I'm speaking to those that know what they're doing in their behavior and trying to exploit women and stuff like that. But in those times, I was either going through something, like I was either depressed, or I just went through a tough cycle, or I was healing something very deeply, or I was trying to find my way at the time, or I was going through the next season of my life, that these people would come into my into my life, into my presence. And you got to pay attention. You got to be more diligent. So if you fell for some of these promises that these people put onto you, like the ones that you were dating or having sex with, more so specifically, their agenda was to disappoint you and to kill your joy by means of keeping you waiting on them, keeping you waiting on these promises that they've made, these future plans they've made, while, being able to continuously feed off of you. Because if I can keep you waiting on me, and I know you're waiting on me, whenever I call or whenever I come around, I know I could just, when I'm ready for a feed, I could just hit you up, or I know you'll come back around. It's a game. Also keeping you in this karmic cycle, keeping you in a karmic loop, to discourage you from your path, or to keep you from getting to your designated path, or your purpose, or your breakthrough, or your healing, or to find the right person, to align, I should say, with the right person. And also the agenda, just as a whole, whether you dated or these are people that try to come against you, is also to cause you to faint in your confidence and to feel defeated and to feel powerless. These types of things, like I'm seeing the loopholes, I see the agenda. So it's very funny. These types of people, they think they're clever. And that's why I said you have to have discernment. You have to know what God is telling you, because they can say whatever they want. They can gaslight you. They can slander you. They can stalk you. They can whatever. But you got to know, like, you can see through all that shit. You can see it. It's laughable, really. It's laughable. Because the promise, what's already for you, has been destined and it's already been written. They can't stop it. Like, so, they can't stop it. It's funny, like, it's really funny, to even attempt to do that to someone. Like, you can cause delay, and I pray that you guys break that spirit of delay over your life, or in a specific area of your life. Because, I mean, that's the only thing really that they can do, is cause delays, but they can't stop the promise. They can't do that. They can't. What's for you is already written. It cannot pass you by. It can't. So you have to see past the scare tactics. You have to see past the spiritual bullying, because a bully is very insecure. So they have to throw their weight around to feel good about themselves. So, like David and Goliath, it may, the bully may look and appear bigger than you, but that confidence in you. See, David was only able to take Goliath out. Yeah, his weapon was powerful. They talk about the slingshot, but that slingshot that they're talking about is actually used in warfare. And I think it was also used in like farming and stuff like that. So it had a lot of the gravity of the slingshot was, it was very it had some weight on it. So it wasn't like no little kid slingshot. It wasn't like, this had weight on it. So, but it was just also the might of that. And in David, he even said, and I'm paraphrasing, I don't want to do this, I have to be careful with this, but basically, like, I'm coming in the name of the Most High. Like, I'm coming in that. So my power is not off of my own personal strength. It is that of the God in me. That's where the confidence comes in, or the Godfidence comes in, to defeat that. Because that bully, um, it's just flesh and blood. Like, and I've always, like, if you understand the psychology of a bully, they're wounded people. They're hurt people. Like they say, hurt people hurt people. That's a true statement. So all you can do is really just have, I mean, I understand it might be hard to have compassion, and I don't have compassion for demons. Maybe the people, but not the demons. I don't have compassion for demons. I don't fuck with demons. I fight demons. I defeat demons. I don't make friends with them. I don't coddle them. I don't keep them around. I don't like demons, and they don't like me. I can have compassion for humanity. And the realest thing I ever saw, I saw a comment. Someone left a comment on YouTube, and the woman said, or the person said, I don't know what they were. They said, I wish my enemies or my haters love or self-love. I wish them to find self-love so that they could stop hating on me or hating on other people. That's the realest thing, because you can just be like, oh, F a hater, F an enemy. But to say, I wish them, that's transmuting energy. I wish them self-love for them to find love within themselves so that they could stop being hateful. And like I said, some people don't have the capacity to be empathetic because they're not there anymore. They're soulless. They're just pockets for demons. Like, sad to say, but they're not there anymore. So again, you have to understand what you're dealing with and the type of people you're dealing with and act accordingly. An empath that has self-confidence and self-love is very threatening to these types of spirits and beings. An empath that doesn't know their power, doesn't have any confidence, can be used and exploited. So you have to have, it's not enough to just say, oh, I'm an empath. So you got to be discerning in your empathy, because you're not dealing with flesh and blood. You're dealing with spirits at the end of the day. And I talk about Jesus because, he's the ascended master. He conquered the physical. He conquered the flesh. He conquered his ego through the heart chakra, through love, through compassion for people that didn't deserve it, people that were spitting on him, people that were mocking him. And it's not to say that he was a punk, because he wasn't. He didn't play with them demons. He was serving. He was dedicated to his divine purpose and calling, in that of his creator, his reverence for his creator, his father. So you have to walk in that same energy when I talk about Jesus, like, because he's something to look at. Like, he was a G. Like, people try to make Jesus out to be, and we've been told and sold this lie of this blonde hair, blue eye man, this Leonardo da Vinci creation pictorial person, but he's nothing like that. Like, that's a delusion. That within itself is another lie, and it's to keep you further and further away from divine truths. And it's also, something that people use in the conscious community. Oh, Jesus is fake, and all, that type of stuff. And when you deal with the spirit realm, when you have faced or you've encountered or you experienced the presence of the Holy Spirit, there's nothing you can convince or tell me that God, Jesus, is not real, or the Holy Spirit doesn't exist. You can't do that. You can't convince me of that. And I look at those types of people as foolish, because these are people that have a false sense of self. They have a false sense of authority. They're filled with ego. They're filled with self-pride. They're full of they're very self-centered. They don't have hearts. They don't have compassion. That's why I had to get away from the so-called conscious community, because they really don't lack consciousness. They can regurgitate, they can download all this information and all this knowledge, but some of them don't even apply it. And for some of them, they got like, they're just too big-headed for their own britches. And some of them, they need to be careful, because that shit sends them into psychosis. That stuff that they deal with and tapping into all that stuff they have no business tapping into. It's just funny, but I'm saying all this to say that for those of you that need to hear it, because it's for somebody, it is a message that came through, and I'm just like, I could have either sat with this myself and just been like, got the download and just kept it pushing, but I felt like I would be doing a disservice to somebody if I didn't share it. And Spirit gave me a title for a reason, so that's why I posted it, because I don't get titles for videos all the time. So I had to trust that. And I really want to thank, his name is RC Blakes on YouTube. He's an older man, and he is very, very helpful for men and women. He is a man of God. He's also very powerful. He's not judgmental. He's not a condemning person. He convicts. Yeah, he convicts your spirit. If it applies, it applies. And from that point, when you're dealing with that conviction, it leads you to a place of correction. So that's what that's there for. So you're not getting like the typical pastor, oh, you're bad, you're going to hell. You're not getting that type of energy from him. He comes with love. He's dope with it. His name is R.C. Blakes Jr. on YouTube. And he helps with femininity, he helps with masculinity, he helps with healing traumas, strongholds, confidence, dealing with, all these different things. He's dope with it. So I would like encourage you, if you resonate with him, like I said, if you're someone that doesn't, identify with Bibles, and you don't have a Christian background or Catholic background or whatever, you could still resonate with him, because he doesn't like stuff it. He doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a suffocating type of, he talks like, just like he's coming at you like you're talking to a father figure, or a good, like a older uncle or something. Like, it's not, you're not going to feel like you're being pressured in a pulpit. You know what I mean? Like, that's not the type of energy that I get from him. So I just had to shout him out, because if it wasn't for me like stumbling across this video this morning, I wouldn't have got this download. And I had to be honest with myself as well, that, I was, a little naive in the past, and, being too nice to people that, I should have been discerning. And blaming and shame is not going to get you anywhere. That's one of the open doors for the enemy to attack you and to condemn you and to guilt trip you, to gaslight you. But when you heal those things, where you forgive yourself, where you see it for what it is with a discerning eye, that stuff does not move you. It doesn't move you. So I pray that this was helpful, because I know that my messages sometimes might come at a time where people need it, or a time where people are just like, it's triggering. But I'm gonna have to be obedient. Like I said, I could have sat on this, and I was just like, should I say this? Like, should I say this? Because I don't want to offend anybody. And, I don't, like, no, somebody needs to hear it. And if somebody gets offended, I guess I expose the demon. It's too bad. You know what I mean? So I wish you guys much love. And if you guys celebrate Christmas, you guys celebrate the holidays, may you be blessed. May you guys be safe, you and your loved ones. Y'all enjoy your holidays, Enjoy that good food for some of y'all, whatever y'all eating. Let me know what y'all eating. What y'all cooking. And I wish you guys much love and comfort and support through these times. And like I said, it's funny. I promise y'all, like, this stuff, once you heal certain things, it's funny. Like, not funny to the point where it's just like it's not serious, but what was I ever tripping off of? Why, it's like a sense of peace almost. And maybe that's just how I deal with stuff. Like, I laugh because I like to laugh. I like to, giggle. I like to laugh. I like humor. So I try to find light in things through humor, I guess you can say. But you guys, y'all stay blessed. Hopefully I didn't keep you guys too long. Take it. If you guys need to take it in increments, so be it. All in divine timing. So if you're watching this around the time they recorded it or years later, I pray that it meets you at the divine time and it falls on the ears of those who are meant to receive it and they do well with the message in the way that they're supposed to, whatever that is between you and the Most High. And y'all be blessed. Take care. Peace.